Well, welcome back. The diagnosis was grim, heart failure with only months to live, but Eric Borston refused to give up. Thanks to specialized in-home care and major lifestyle changes, he's now walking thousands of miles each year to raise awareness for continued research.
As we recognize Pulmonary Hypertension Awareness Month, the walking guy himself, Eric, joins us with more. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today, Eric.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Maybe you can first tell us a little bit about your story and how you found out about your illness.
Yeah, so 5 years ago, this past September, I collapsed and from right ventricular heart failure and almost died. I spent 16 days in the ICU where I was diagnosed with a very rare lung condition called pulmonary arterial hypertension, also known as PAH, chronic terminal disease, a disease with no cure. It was in the hospital that I decided that I was going to live. I was sent home, unbeknownst to me. They told my wife, they didn't tell me. I was given 2 to 4 months to live. And so I came home and I started to walk. Walking helped mitigate the side effects of the medications that I was on, but it helped with positive mental health. So between positive mental health, exercise, nutrition, and the reliance of my village, family, friends, neighbors, here I am today.
Yeah, that's amazing,
yeah.
amazing story.
I'm curious, what are maybe some of the signs and symptoms of PAH that everyone should know? I'd never even heard of it.
Yeah, neither had we. Only 500 to 1,000 people a year are diagnosed with PAH. So with other PH diseases, shortness of breath, fatigue are the early signs. A lot of times it goes misdiagnosed. In my case, I was sick leading up going to the hospital. I wasn't ignoring the symptoms, but I was scared. I was really scared. And one of the lessons that I've learned from my psychologist actually is upwards of 75% of men, when something is seriously wrong, ignore the symptoms and don't go to the doctor. So as it progressed, I started to go into heart failure, which a lot of PAH patients do. And then you start getting swelling in the abdomen, swelling in the ankles and legs. And then eventually I collapsed and it almost cost me my life.
Wow. And you weren't expected to live, but you did overcome a lot of obstacles, as you said. How did your care team help you?
Yeah, so, like I said, from not going to the doctor to now having the best cardiologist, the best psychologist, and then my CVS specialty care team. When I came home, I was put on a pump with the drugs being administered straight into my heart. And so we had a nurse coming to the house once a week, and she became part of the family for those first weeks, months, and up to the first year. Once I was taken off the pump, which my heart almost made a complete recovery after the first year, I'm still on oral meds to this day. And, CVS specialties really become a lifeline. They become part of my family. They provide 24/7 care online. They have a pharmacist if you need, another opinion. And so, again, between the reliance of all my doctors, that's just been part of my village.
Yeah, that's incredible. Can you share the inspiration behind your fundraising walk and how that mission kind of came to be?
Yeah. So I've become known as the walking guy. I went from walking a mile, 2, 3, to eventually walking longer distances. I now walk 13 to 15 miles a day, 4,500 to 5,000 miles a year. And about 2 years ago, my daughter came to me and asked if we could put together a fundraiser to raise awareness for this very rare disease that I live with. And so Where is EB was born. And now for the last 2 years, we have raised money for an organization called Team Phenomenal Hope, who helps underserved patients all over the country living with pulmonary hypertension and also funds young researchers to hopefully one day find a cure. So we've put on this fundraiser. And then afterwards, I walked from LA to San Diego, 205 miles in 6.5 days, all to raise awareness for this disease.
Wow.
Wow.
Tell us how our audience can learn more about your journey or maybe get involved.
Yeah. So you can go to cvshealth.com or whereiseb.org to learn more about my story.
Amazing.
Great.
Thank
Thanks
you
so
for
much,
sharing with
Eric.
us.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah.